Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of Fallout 4 Mod Showcase. This week, we've got another nice standalone weapon, some really great retextures for power armor, and I'm going to be taking a look at another one of those fantastic reshades by Cryosleep and TreyM. So let's get to it. First up this week is the M14 Rifle by FF7 Cloud Strife and Moniterman. To start off with, the texture on this is absolutely amazing by Moniterman, especially on the stock. The wood grain is really nice looking, and it also has those little nicks and marks and scratches and things that really make it look realistic and sort of old and weathered. The model on this is decent, but it should be noted that with the traditional magazine, uh, you can see the bullet poke through a little bit on the side. Not a huge deal, nothing game breaking, but it is a little bit of a bug with the model on this. But overall, it still looks pretty decent. As usual, this weapon can be modified in a number of different ways, including all of your basic receivers from powerful to hardened to calibrated, and it can also be made to be fully automatic. You can also add several different scopes, medium range scopes and recon scopes. And you can also add a reflex dot sight as well. The weapon uses 308 ammunition, and really, I think where this rifle in particular shines is in the ammunition modifications that you can make. That you can add to it. You can change the ammo type to be explosive, radioactive ammunition, also poison rounds, plasma rounds, if you like, or cryo rounds. I didn't really get a chance to try all of them out. I tried out the explosive rounds, which it's pretty cool that you can add sort of those legendary ammunition um, things to this weapon. It's pretty cool. This particular rifle also comes with its own mods that are particular only to this rifle. You can add a bipod to the bottom of the rifle, or you can also add a strap that goes across the bottom of the rifle. You can add a tactical light to the front so it shines a little light when you have it out. And it also comes with several different colored stocks that can be used instead of the original normal wood grain stock. I just can't say enough about this rifle. Amazing work in the modeling and texturing department by Moniterman. And it's really nice to see these weapons coming out with all of these just crazy modifications. It looks great on its own, but you can also modify it in tons of different ways to really make it unique and original. Pretty cool, all in all. The next set of mods up today are a set of power armor retextures known as the Power HD series by Avallonkao. The first one up is the T60 retexture, and oh my goodness, the texture on this is absolutely fantastic. The textures are only in 2K resolution right now, but they look far and away better than the vanilla. And I suppose we can always hope for maybe a 4K or even higher resolution in the future. The rust areas on the power armor, the T60 in this case, are much more realistic. They have a sort of bumpy look and feel to them, which is pretty cool and much better than in the vanilla game. When it comes to the T60, I actually prefer the vanilla color over the sort of lighter silver color with this mod installed, but the detail again on the rust and on the entire model overall is obviously better with the mod installed. Next up, we got the T45. And again, the textures on this are absolutely amazing. And again, they are in 2K resolution. And the detail, again, on this is absolutely beautiful. The rust areas look far more realistic, and they definitely have more of a textured feel to them. And they look a lot nicer than in the vanilla. On this one, the T45, I am absolutely in love with the color here when compared to the vanilla. I thought the vanilla color was a little bit drab, and this one is a lot more shinier and better looking than the vanilla. Great work there. Next up, we are looking at the T51. Absolutely amazing textures yet again. However, on this one, I really, again, am absolutely in love with the color in particular. The chest piece on the vanilla one has this supposed to be sort of rusty color, and I don't like it very much. I think this modded version looks a lot better, and it has, again, a lot more shine to it, much better specular mapping than in the vanilla. But great textures, great details on the rusty bits. Yet again, looks absolutely fantastic. And finally, what power armor mod would be complete without the X1 power armor? The X1 power armor texture was really nice indeed. There wasn't a huge difference between the vanilla and the modified version in my game. However, I think that that is related to how I have my X1 Power Armor modified in my game. But once you got up close, it was clear right away that the texture was far improved from the vanilla. Again, there's much more detail in the rusted areas, and it has that sort of bumpy, raised look and feel to it, which makes it look a lot better. Fantastic retexture of all the power armors in this mod. Great work by the mod author, and something that I think is going to be staying in my game. And finally, this week, I took a look at another one of the modern film look reshades by Cryosleep and TreyM. And this week, I took a look at the look of Eli. This is another amazing reshade by Cryosleep and TreyM. It looks absolutely fantastic in my opinion. It desaturates all the colors ever so slightly and reshades the entirety of the image in favor of light browns and orange-ish colors. It actually reminds me a lot of Fallout 3 in a lot of ways. That game had a lot of sort of brown colors when it came to the landscape and things like that. There is a vignette on the edges of the screen, on the sides, that's sort of darkening, from the edges of the screen. And there is also a pretty fairly aggressive film grain with this reshade, which both of those together give this reshade just an overall very, very cinematic look and feel, which everybody out there knows I'm a huge fan of. It looks absolutely fantastic. It definitely gives the game more of a darker look, but one thing that I really, really like about it is it doesn't make the game too dark. Even when it's raining or in the dark, it's not so dark that you can't see anything, but yet it still gives it just a slightly darker feel, which is, I imagine, a very hard thing to nail correctly, but they definitely did it in this one. It looks absolutely fantastic. At the end of the day, it's definitely a great reshade, especially if you're like me and you like a more cinematic look to your game. You'll definitely get that with this one. And I think the color scheme and the way they have the color saturation set up, um, I think it looks great. Another fantastic reshade by cryosleep and TreyM. And that wraps it up for yet another episode of Fallout 4 Mods Showcase. Thank you all for joining me. I do hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like down below. I would really appreciate that very much. And while you're down there, why don't you go ahead and give a click on the old subscribe button as well. That way you'll never miss out on any future episodes of this series or any other videos that I put out. As always, I will remind you that if you do download and enjoy any of the mods featured in any of my videos, make sure you head back over to the Nexus pages and give the mod authors an endorsement as well. But with all of that good stuff out of the way, I'm out of here, and I will see you all in the next video.